Welcome to Common Wander. In today's video, we will discover the smallest country in the world. So let's get started. A tour of Vatican City, the world's smallest country, is a journey not through sprawling landscapes, but through the dense, layered strata of faith, art, and history, all compressed into a mere 44 hectares nestled within the heart of Rome. To cross from the bustle of Italy into this sovereign city-state, often through the grand colonnades of Bernini's St. Peter's Square, is to step into a realm where the spiritual and the temporal intertwine with breathtaking audacity. The square itself, with its sweeping Doric columns, symbolizing the motherly arms of the church, is your introduction to the scale of ambition that defines this place. A vast, open-air antechamber for hundreds of thousands, all focused on the magnificent facade of St. Peter's Basilica. Here, you are surrounded by a chorus of history. The central Egyptian obelisk that once witnessed Caligula's games, the twin fountains spraying diamond dust water into the Roman sun, and the very cobblestones upon which popes have spoken and pilgrims have knelt for centuries. Moving from the expansive square into the cavernous interior of St. Peter's Basilica is an architectural and emotional shock to the system, a transition from grand to sublime. The first impression is one of overwhelming scale and opulent detail, a sensory overload where the mind struggles to reconcile the sheer magnitude of the space with the intricate beauty of its adornment. Your gaze is immediately drawn upward to the soaring dome, designed by Michelangelo, and then downward along the nave, which seems to stretch into infinity. The sheer volume of masterpieces is staggering. This is less a building and more a museum of the highest Renaissance and Baroque art, all dedicated to the glory of God. There is Michelangelo's achingly beautiful Pietà, its marble so lifelike the flesh of Christ seems to yield to his mother's lap, a work of transcendent genius created by an artist barely out of his teens. There is Bernini's colossal bronze baldachin that spirals triumphantly over the papal altar, marking the tomb of St. Peter himself, its twisted columns a dynamic force of energy and faith. And there is the dome itself, which you can ascend via a claustrophobic climb that rewards you with a panoramic view not only of Vatican City but of all Rome, a powerful perspective reinforcing this tiny state's unique position as a global observatory. Yet the pilgrimage is only half complete without venturing into the Vatican museums, a labyrinthine complex housing one of the most formidable art collections in the world. A tour through these galleries is a chronological march through human creativity, from the pagan antiquities of Egypt and Rome to the pinnacle of Christian expression. You walk through the Hall of Maps, with its vast topographical renderings of Italy. You pass through the Room of the Muses, where classical sculptures seem to breathe, and you traverse the Gallery of Tapestries, where woven biblical scenes are so intricate, the eyes of Christ appear before you. But all these are a prelude, a crescendo building towards the two final, overwhelming movements of the symphony, the Raphael Rooms and the Sistine Chapel. The Stanza di Raffaello, private apartments of Pope Julius II, are a testament to the humanist ideal, where Raphael's frescoes, particularly the School of Athens, philosophically reconcile classical reason with Christian revelation in a grand fantasy of intellectual harmony. And then, you enter the Sistine Chapel. No description, no photograph, no prior knowledge can fully prepare you for the reality of standing beneath Michelangelo's ceiling. The initial silence is often broken by a collective gasped whisper from the crowd. You crane your neck, and there, in a narrative of overwhelming physicality, is the story of Genesis. From the drunkenness of Noah to the iconic electric moment of the creation of Adam, where the fingers of God and man are suspended in an infinitesimal gap, capturing the very spark of life. The sheer muscularity of the figures, the boldness of the color, and the complexity of the composition are almost too much to absorb. And at the far end, the terrifying, majestic presence of Michelangelo's Last Judgment dominates the wall, a swirling vortex of salvation and damnation, with a central Christ not as a gentle shepherd, but as a powerful, almost wrathful judge. This chapel is the spiritual core of the conclave, where cardinals elect a new pope, and it feels charged with a palpable sense of consequence and divine scrutiny. A tour of Vatican City, therefore, is far more than a visit to a monument. It is an immersion into a narrative of human genius channeled in service of the divine. It is a place where the brushstrokes of Michelangelo, the chisel of Bernini, and the vision of popes have created a concentration of cultural and spiritual power so intense that its influence radiates across the globe, proving that the significance of a country is not measured in square miles, but in the depth of its impact on the human soul. Write us in comments if you have already visited this country. Let everyone know about your experience. Or if you haven't visited yet and you are planning to visit, write the name of your country in the comments section and we will help you to get the best available tour packages. If you enjoyed this video about Vatican City, you can like it and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Goodbye and see you in the next video.